Hello and welcome to the show. We started this week on The Crew with Gadget Boy 8, who is being told to follow. So I'm not sure they quite want you to follow them in that manner. I mean, that's quite an impressive amount of airtime from the SUV there. So the car gets back going again. He carries on. It's the back of a Dodge that then decides, nope, Chevy is not allowed to pass, and that fires him off the other way. Tumblers on The Crew as well has managed to break the multiplayer loading screens. I've not seen this one before. Normally you can sit and spin the wheels up of the cars in the garage, but he's kind of glitched out loading in and can drive his, I think it's a Hummer, around in the loading. Yeah, that's a new one. That is a new one to me there. St. Nick 365 on Forza 6, finding the dangers of Daytona in his Hellcat. He runs a little bit too wide, and that's going to be a very, very high-speed roll as the Dodge tumbles and flips and then ends up in the pit lane. And then the ghost lights also carry on their little tumble. He wasn't the only one having issues here. LGamer575 racing the new Ford GT gets down on the apron, and that's never a good idea. It's just people not quite being used to oval racing on a controller. There's too much of a movement down onto the apron and then couldn't quite get it smoothly back off, and that's going to cause a very big accident at those sort of speeds. Poison muffing again. We're running at Daytona this time with Hennessy Venom, so really rather fast around here. Very similar place to where the Challenger got into trouble. This time around, though, the Hennessy gets off a little bit better. After seeing those two huge rolls, yeah, that Hennessy running along the fence did really, really well to not have a very big accident. We've got up next a Mazda Cosmo going for a bit of a drift. Can't quite catch it. We're sideways on the grass. We'll go for a flip, catch a sign, and landed on our wheels at least. That's quite an impressive landing. Normally once the cars, especially if you roll it on the grass, once they start rolling, they do keep going. But that one there, yeah, very well safe. This is a lesson in why you pay attention to where you're going. I guess you meant to set it to the long straight version of Le Mans. May have forgotten about the chicanes, and then the tyre bundles decided the Range Rover should be going the other way down the That is an impressive amount of ping off the tyre bundles. I'm going to go with that. Still at Le Mans, Wiffy Soul 93825 with a Shelby Raptor is looking to see where the cars are behind him, gets caught out by a puddle and spun across the road in front of everybody. I think he's trying to sort himself out, gets lifted up over 4 cars. The Lotus there lifted Shelby over 4 vehicles. That is quite an impressive feat to make it past that lot. WJC1 on Forza 6. And I wish I could say this wasn't a normal start to a Forza 6 online race. But I can't, really. They're awful. So, first of all, the F50 gets sort of stuck in the wall. Everything is going wrong ahead of him. A Hellcat gets bounced up. Cars spinning, one to the left, sort of through the middle of a Mazda, and another spinny thing. Something goes to space, and then there's a Hurricane rolling along for good measure across the top of the Capri. Yeah, that's about a normal Forza 6 online lobby start to a race. He did so well to avoid all of that shenanigans that were going on there, because that was, yeah, suitably crazy. Ian tonight on Project Cars with a similar near miss. Not sure if it's AIs or whether there's players. Some cars trying to recover. Annihilates the car coming off the track, and the Ginetta finds a way through the middle of it. Total Gamer 345 is going to borrow a taxi when he notices a Panto doing something peculiar. So Panto goes on the curb to avoid this little accident, and then proceeds to go round. And Panto's going back on the curb again, and now decides to go in the car park. I mean, I guess that's one way to go into the car park. I'm not sure it was completely necessary, but never mind. Still on GTA 5, messing around with the tank. Yeah, you can use the barrel to smack people around. However, the tank is less happy when you try and smack a building around. Yeah, it doesn't quite work. It's physics just said, bugger it, let's throw the tank upside down. And yeah, you can smack the people around, it's quite amusing, but the buildings are having absolutely none of it, and they will defeat the tank. And it's not just GTA 5 that does this. Still Guns on World of Tanks has managed to get his barrel kind of stuck inside the buildings, and the buildings have had enough of that, and decide, I don't know how ridiculously heavy these tanks are, but yeah, you know, let's just fire this tank up into space a little. There we go, there's another one. I don't know why these particular buildings dislike the tanks. Other people are joining in, trying to get it to do the same thing. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the buildings. The other tanks couldn't quite get it to work as well, so he goes to have another go. This one's the best of the lot, though. So he doesn't even get the barrel into the building. It's just, nope, we shall fire you across the map, lands on a roof, and then the wreck of the tank bounces off again. It's, just, yeah, that's not quite how tanks are supposed to work. I don't think. I'm next to Assetto Corsa. We've got some Formula 1 cars banging wheels going up Eau Rouge, always a dangerous thing. And one of the cars loses the control across the top. They bounce into the wall, and we've got a sinking Formula 1 car. Again, not sure that's quite how physics works on them, but never mind. And we finish with Simon Racer on R Factor. Goes for a spectacular roll with his car, but it's what happens afterwards. The trees were not impressed, apparently, with this roll. It did not please the god of the trees, so it decided that the Holden, I think it is, should be fired across at great speed and many, many spins. I don't know how many rotations that car did. It was an awful, awful lot. So yeah, I mean, the initial stunt is actually quite impressive. To get the roll and the twist is sort of a barrel roll 360. But no, the trees were having none of it. I think it's about 400 and something kilometers an hour. So what is that, about 250 miles an hour? The car gets flinged off across the infield. Yeah, those trees were not particularly happy with this car. Anyway, that is it for this episode. If you have clips you would like to submit to this series, then you can via our forums. There will be a link in the description. At the very top of the page is the FailRace clip submission section, and there you can find all of the rules and how to submit them. But that is it from me. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.